What's up, everybody? It's Jim Smith from Viral Fitness Marketing. I'm going to show you a quick way to make some kind of flashy text, and we're going to show you that with a banner. The first thing you want to do is just create a new image. If you go to File, New, you can see I already selected the width and height. The width is going to be a little wider, and the height is going to be narrower, or it's going to be shorter. And again, we're just looking to build just a sample banner, and you can see here that kind of looks like a banner to the top of a website. What we're going to do first is just fill in the background layer. You can see in the layers palette where you selected background. So the color is black, that's a pretty standard color. We're going to choose our paint bucket. We're going to click in here and just fill the background layer with black. Next thing we want to do is we want to create some text on there. It's a banner, so we want to create some text. I'm going to show you a way to flash that up a little bit. When I click on here, you can see in the layers palette, it just creates another layer. It's pretty simple. And if you don't see the layers palette here, just go to Window and make sure there's a checkbox or a check mark by layers. So I have a new layer here, and the layer is going to be type. It's going to be some text. I'm going to type in diesel. Okay. You can see I chose 136. That's pretty big. I can make it a little bigger here. Let's see. I gotta highlight that. 145. It's a little bigger. Okay. If I right click on this, and I still have what I want to do is I can have the type tool here. Highlight everything. Just right click on it. If all this means is what does the edge look like? If I have none, you can see it's kind of blurry. The edges are kind of blurry, and I want to make sure that that option is always on like crisp or sharp or whatever, and it makes a real nice edge along there. The other options we have when we right click on the text itself, it's just I can make it bold, okay, or I can make it italic. So bold is better typically. I mean, if you want to make some more of an artsy type thing, we'd put some typing down here that's a little bit lower. You can, there's a whole bunch of stuff you could do. We could come down here, change that to like 30. Oh, I was on the wrong one. Look at that. Just hit Control Z. I'm going to choose a new type layer down here. I'm going to make it smaller and make it 30. Let's say the diesel crew. And put it just like that. That kind of looks cool, right? So the thing I want to show you today is how do we make this a little bit more flashy. Now the first thing I want to do, since it's a banner, I'm going to make sure the text is centered on the page. How do I do that? Well, I click on the background layer. I go to Edit. I'm sorry. I want to go to Select, and I select all. Since it's not a editable layer, you got to kind of do it this way, but I can show you a way around it too. So we select all. We go Select All. Then we go Edit Free Transform. And what that does is it puts a dot right in the center of the background layer. And since the background layer is the actual size of the image, that's perfect. Now what I do is I grab my arrow tool. See, I messed up. What I want to do is go back here and I go Edit Free Transform. So I have a dot again, a dot right in the middle. And I come over here in my sidebar here where it shows the ruler, and I click and hold and I drag that to the center. And what that is that's a guide. So I'm pulling a guide right out of this ruler area. Now the guide snaps to that center dot, so I know that that's the dead center. Now when I hit Escape and Control D deselects it. If I go here, you can see Control D, Shift Control D selects it, reselects it, Control D deselects it. So I had everything highlighted around here and it was still selected. Now what I want to do is I want to take these and link them together. So I just hold down the Control key and I click on both these layers. So now they're both highlighted. And I put this little link down here and it links those two layers together. Okay. And since I have my arrow key, I just grab a hold of the layers. You can see they move independently. Now what I do is I slide it over and it snaps to that center. Okay, you can physically feel it. Watch it snap. See it snap right on that guide. So now I know it's centered, and you can see approximately what I could also do is pull a guide down from here to the center. Once I figured out, once I go through the process again, typically it'll snap there, but you can see it's pretty much center. So how do we make Diesel a little flashy? Well, here's how you do it, and it's very quick and very easy. I'm gonna leave that guide there just for as a reference point for you. So I have this Diesel layer selected. Now I go back down here, and this is a function button, and I'm gonna add a style. When I click this, it gives me a whole bunch of options, and this is the cool stuff. And I'm gonna show you one of the options right now, but you can go in and play with some of these other options. I'm going to choose gradient overlay. Basically what that means is it provides an overlay to the text, and you can see immediately it overlaid this gradient on the text. Now you don't have to mess around with these things just yet. I can show you that in a future video. But if you click this down arrow key, you got a whole bunch of other gradients here. Now this is one I installed, and I can show you how to do that. But Photoshop provides you with a whole list of standard gradients that you can use. I'm going to use this one here. Kind of looks kind of cool, right? So there's my gradient. I've taken a text and I put it on a background layer. I put a gradient on it, kind of make it look cool, and I added some text below here, and I centered it. Okay, so now I have a banner. This is the Diesel Crew site, and it's just a quick way to do it. Now, like I said, go into this function, this add layer style here, and play with these other ones. What we could do is add a bevel to this. If we go here, look at that. So it changed the bevel on here. I like going on the outer bevel because it's harder, and it kind of looks better, I think. You can just use the defaults. You can change some of these, make them like bigger or whatever, but just use the defaults for now. Just play around with it. Click OK. Okay, so that's it. I mean, if you know what you're doing, it takes you probably 2 minutes to create something like this. But if you send this off to like a graphics guy, he's going to charge you big bucks. So if you have Photoshop, you might as well go in and use it for what you want to use it for. All right, well, I hope this helps. I mean, it's a quick way to create text. I show you how to center it. I showed you how to use the bevel and emboss and the gradient. And I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks, and come back to Viral Fitness Marketing YouTube site. We're going to have the site up here pretty soon. You can make some comments on it, and we're going to have a lot of free cool stuff for you. All right, this is Smitty, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks.